Hello, welcome to episode 7 of Bedlam Hall. They said it couldn't be done, and here we are on episode 7. And it took 6 episodes for staff-on-staff murder to happen, or anyone would be dismissed. I mean, we really saved it up. It was totally worth it. So,
premeditated, aggravated, with a deadly weapon.
Absolutely.
Ask me about whether or not you can murder somebody before the stream even began.
Hey, just want to make sure things are cool, which they were. So it was an awesome episode, excellent scenes. I think y'all rocked it totally out of the house.
Yes, Mr. Current was very cool after you put him in the ground.
The dead puns begin already. So let's talk about our stars of the show here, the players. Let's go over to Steve. How are you doing today?
Good. It's Thursday. That means it's almost Friday. That means it's almost the weekend.
Nice. And a Memorial Day weekend for us in the States. So an extra day off, hopefully, for most of you. I hope.
That was last weekend here in Canada.
Oh, I don't keep track of that. That's hard. I can't even keep track of the holidays of my own country, much less any other. Even when we border on, it's crazy talk. I barely get that whole Thanksgiving skew thing. It's just I forget it all the time. So, which is a good lead in to Jason. How are you doing?
Well, I was brutally murdered last session, but I got better.
Ish.
Just a flesh wound.
Just a flesh wound. Good job.
Only a flesh wound.
Excellent. And last but certainly not least, we have Philip. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Yeah, I'm excited, ready to be here. I always get excited when I get the chance to play a new character, so it's a good time. I get tired of characters after about 5 or 6 sessions, so I was ready for
ready for a switch out.
On.
All right.
Yeah, I was holding on to like 4 trauma on purpose,
Just cause. Awesome. So let's take care of the housekeeping on that. I hate to do it. Well, I suppose we can wait till you formally introduce your character, but I'm gonna remove your other stuff from your label for the moment. So yes, hold on to that, and we'll introduce them momentarily.
That sounds good.
Yeah. So let's say I'm going to say it's been about another month passes. Things happen.
Oh, Scott, can we talk about the thing that we were talking about?
Oh yes. I'm so sorry. I just am.
No, it's totally okay.
Once very much. No. So before the stream, Philip brought up a really great note about like how maybe we should be doing rolls more often to be able to have more prestige in order to do this like secret moves the secret, finding out secrets and stuff like that. And we haven't really done much of that. It hasn't been a very big focus of this campaign. So let's actually talk about that. I'm going to move this over to Roll20. Here we go. There we are. Cool. All right. So what one you were actually talking about right before we started was serve the house. So whenever you successfully take an initiative to improve the functions of the household beyond your regular duties, roll plus fortitude. So yeah, I would tend to agree that yes, if you're doing something that really is outside the bounds of your actual role, like there as there are many, then yeah, we can certainly make this happen. Now as to the others, I like, I'm not sure about your like playbook moves, but it seems like I think we're doing the right amount of the other stuff. Whenever you trigger it, I trigger it.
Yeah. It seems like everything else was good, but it sometimes felt like it had to have an element of risk in order for us to get anything from it, and there would be things where it would be like, oh, like let's do this thing that's definitely extra and like not what we normally do, but then because it wasn't like an exciting thing to do, it wasn't like there wasn't a role involved, which just I often felt like I had empty pockets. I do like exciting as well. I'm not complaining about that at all.
Yeah, well, the way Serve the House it's worded, it's a bit odd because it's when you successfully take initiative to improve the house. So it implies that you've succeeded at what you're doing already before
No, it
you
means that
roll?
you were able to start before someone told you something else, or before someone
Yeah.
stopped
Oh,
you.
yeah.
But yeah, one of the key points is taking initiative. So
Like if, Croft went to, go clean up Petunia and I was like, no, that's my job, and, directed her not to, then they wouldn't have successfully taken the initiative.
fair enough.
And really neither would have, Mr. Reynolds, because he didn't take the initiative to do it. He just stopped from someone else from doing it.
Yeah.
That's cool. No, that makes a lot of sense. I'm totally on board with that, and I totally agree with Philip on this. We can definitely be doing serving the house more. Again, the looks like to trigger it, you have to successfully take the initiative to do something, and that's to improve the function of the house, and it has to be beyond your regular duties. So Croft, yes, I totally agree that Croft probably should have had more serve the house because she was the chauffeur and did quite a bit more. I don't want to get to the other side of this, however, where we're kind of like, oh, hey, my character, the chauffeur, made the bed. I served the house. It's like, no,
Right. Of
I
course
mean, that's and then I made the other bed, so that's another serve. I don't want to get to that side of the spectrum either. But I completely agree with what you're talking about.
Yeah,
And I do want to give you more. Yeah.
I wouldn't say those things making the bed improve the function of the house. They're kind of just the regular things that are in the house. Maybe somebody's doing it, but they're not really improving things. They're just kind of keeping them even.
Sure, that's a fair statement also. But definitely like cleaning up Petunia is absolutely, that makes a whole lot of sense. Improving it and taking the initiative. It's nobody's job to do that really. Maybe the maid or the housekeeper potentially. That's in their line of duty. But yeah. And another thing Philip really well pointed out was that the lack of extra prestige kind of made you guys less interested in like ferreting out secrets and stuff like that. And we really haven't done much with secrets because I mean, though you wouldn't expect it, given that there was murder and mayhem last session. I think, and the book actually points this out that hey, your people the staff might just fall into kind of like a awkward cooperativeness, since it's a united front against the family in the house is better than a fragmented one. Whereas, there'll be some nitpicking here and there and prestige goes up and down. Overall, do they really want anyone dismissed when like the better the devil type of stuff? Or, what's one less person at the moment to help us fend off the horror that is the family? That type of thing. So the book actually, says, hey, this might just happen. And that has, I think, to a point been happening. More cooperation, which is fine. I have no problem. And I think it's been a successful campaign in doing that so far. It would be fun to get more of the secrets though, as Philip quite rightly points out. So so let's do some of that.
But then, as I was also saying, there aren't actually very many moves that give prestige. Period. Like serve the house can guide their direction can on a 10, and you might get it as the consequence for somebody only getting a 7 to 9 if they try and direct you.
Right, and maybe that's built in as well, is you're expected to be making more rolls, so therefore there's going to be more middling success, which makes the other people actually gain prestige.
Yeah, but there's not a huge amount of prestige gaining through the basic moves as it is.
It's actually hard to do it proactively.
All right. Yeah. Well, what about your playbook moves? I'm kind of curious. We haven't looked at them a whole lot. Do any of your playbook moves give you prestige in any fashion that you've used or not used?
Mine do, which is actually was kind of the ulterior motivation of thinking about. I was like, well, how can I use these if what we talked about was not a thing? So, as a maid, this is a good time for me to introduce my character. Is that fine? Scott?
Please do. Absolutely, please do.
Okay. So, as a maid, I have my classic move is just like the one that automatically comes with being a maid is Trusted Confidant, which is when people share their trauma with you, roll plus persuasion. On a full success, they lose 1 trauma, and you gain 1 prestige. And on a partial success, they lose 1 trauma. So basically, I can be a way for people to get rid of their trauma without having to get additional secrets or take the day off. And that gives me prestige if I'm successful. And then I also have a move called Can You Lend Us a Hand? It says, when serving the house, ask someone to help you and roll plus persuasion. On a full success, pick 2. On a partial success, pick 1. 2 of the options on that list, one of them is you both get a prestige, and one of them is you gain an extra prestige. So that's a way to get prestige and give it out too. But it only triggers on serve the house as a move.
Gotcha. What's the maid's name?
Stephanie Danker.
You spelled Danker.
Danker.
And Stephanie, the standard one, Stephanie. And she, her, I'm assuming, or no?
Mm-hmm, that's correct. Yes, she, her.
Perfect. All right, you're up there. So yeah, let's actually, if you don't mind, let's take a quick look. I brought up the and we can change this too. The Maid stats. So let's take a quick look. So yeah, so you have your standard boobs, etc. And as
I still see the expected duties on there.
You haven't changed the player view, only the GM.
Sorry about that. There we go. I appreciate that. Sorry.
Okay, sweet.
There we go. Cool. Let's see here. So yeah, so your pointless moves. Trusted confidant, which is awesome. Again, that's pretty cool. Yeah, so when people share their trauma with you, and so Stephanie has the ability to maybe become like this compassionate font of secrets, generating prestige from helping people just to spend it right around to find out what their stuff is. So I just want to take a closer look real quick. Yeah, so let's see. So cover their tracks is another one. This is an interesting one. So after a family member has experienced the trouble, roll plus composure, attend the incident is totally ignored or forgotten in the household, gain prestige. 7 to 9, you are considered the guilty party, but roll something extra with the family member for the remainder of the scene. Interesting. That's interesting. Yeah, it's ignored or forgotten in the entire household. Wow. Invasion of privacy when searching through one of the members or servants' rooms. That's never happened in this campaign. Let's see. Roll plus fortitude. Success, you can gain suspicion of a potential. See, this is like a secret monger right here. She can be the nicest, sweetest little thing, but she knows everything. So that's interesting. Yeah, you can gain suspicion, but leave a telltale evidence. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Can lend a hand, as you were talking about before. Helpless victim. About to see trauma or lose. This is the one that Steve took.
Mr. Reynolds.
I thought about taking that one, but I was like, I don't think we need to have like a cry off.
I was going to say there'd be a mass cry fest with finger pointing and histrionic.
Oh my god, that's so fucking cool.
But who knows? If I get enough prestige to be able to advance, maybe I'll grab that one anyway. I'll take a page out of Reynolds' book.
Part of the furniture. Entering a room, either upstairs or downstairs. That's good to know. Roll plus etiquette on 10. No one notices your presence. On 7-9, you are seen but unacknowledged. And dark foreboding. When you fail to ignore the strange, you may use "we're all going to die" as a secret the next time you drop innuendo. Interesting. That's a weird one.
That was the other move that I got.
I'm not sure how even to do that. So, when you fail to ignore the strange, so you see the strange, you may use "we're all going to die." That's like a secret that that you're keeping.
I've been reading about the innuendo move. Apparently, you can do the innuendo move without knowing any secrets. It's basically just if you're hinting at someone and alluding at someone, you can still roll to do the innuendo move. You just have a -1 because you don't know any secrets. But we're all going to die would basically become like an extra secret that I use the next time I drop it. So like even if I didn't know anybody's secrets, I could drop innuendo with +1. And then if I knew somebody's secret as well, I could drop innuendo with +2. As long as I had failed to ignore the strange before that.
Interesting. Well, that'll be an interesting one. Should you snag it? So, and I forget. Let's see. You got the
strange, so
yeah. So which ones did you pick again? I'm so sorry.
I have Can You Lend Us a Hand and Dark Foreboding. So that is one of the ones.
You do have. You do have it. Okay, I'm sorry. Cool. All right. Well, again, it'll be interesting to see that in play. Cool. Awesome.
Where does it say in the book that you can use innuendo without actually knowing a secret?
It is on page 43. Aimless innuendo, no secrets, no problem.
This is it makes me feel nice to think that I just have this vision of Philip right before bed every night, sitting up in bed, reading through Bedlam Hall. It's like, that's nice.
Back and forth.
Yeah,
How can I get better?
Well, but what's interesting is I think all of the sniping and shade that we've been throwing would technically be innuendo then.
Maybe.
Because it doesn't have to be a secret. You're just hinting that people are doing things and saying that people are doing bad stuff. Like the example it gives is like making fun of somebody's like oldness and tiredness and like trouble moving, but it's just the fact that they're old. Like you're just making fun of them for something that's about them, not a secret. So all of our sarcastic snark would actually be perfect for innuendo, it seems.
Interesting.
I wonder if the family appreciates dead servants.
Well, they do less work, depending on who you ask.
But they also draw less pay.
They draw less pay, yeah. Awesome. All right. So good talk. I'm totally on board with what Philip's saying. He's totally right. They're totally right. And let's do the thing. You guys ready? Do the thing? I'm actually going to do the movie first, since of course I always forget, as always. So let's do the thing. Hold on. Be right back. Cool. All right, we did the thing, and we lost Jason for a second, it looks like. So I'm going to hold on for Jason. Hope things are all right there.
Yeah, it's not like he's rebooting a router or something.
Oh, okay. Oh, Wi-Fi issues. Cool. But yeah. So yeah, again, I love having talks about like the rule systems, and I want to do it right. So yeah, so I don't want anybody to be shy about letting me know. Hey, by the way, I think this can be done this way. I'm like, I reserve the right to disagree, but I want to hear you out. And I want to make it better. I want you to have a good time. I want to have I want to use the system to its best, so that someone watching can totally just slip in and do their own campaign, etc. And that's really my goal. Is besides, of course, showing off all of your awesome RP. Those are my two. Yeah, showing off player RP, because it's a shame that it doesn't get seen by people when you don't stream it, because they're awesome. Players are awesome. And two, teaching other people to play the game and let them feel comfortable enough to actually play it. And I'm having a load of fun with Bedlam Hall. I mean, again, it's Adam's Family plus Downton Abbey plus something else, and it's horror, but we have a good amount of laughs. And character interactions are awesome, and yeah. So let's see how we do. Pardon me. So let's see. So while we're waiting for Jason, so has Stephanie established herself at the house in this month that has passed?
Yeah, I think so for sure, because Lady, what's her face, said that
Delilah,
she was going to put up ads right away. Yeah,
Oh,
Lady
right.
Delilah. She was saying she was the one who was complaining about it at the funeral, that she was going to put up ads for it. So I assume that I probably saw that and went after it right away, is what I was picturing. So I've probably been here maybe for like 2 weeks, maybe a week. So not like a super long time, but enough that I'm not like a total stranger to everybody.
Cool. Excellent. Yeah. It's like I have to wonder, is Stephanie, like, she kind of spends the first day there, then the week, and like, is it worth the pay? I don't know.
Is it better than sleeping on the street?
I could also be. Yeah, I can actually live in the place with the weird tree. I mean, it could also be interesting if she's brand new. I mean, I don't know which one you think would be more interesting. Either one is fine with me, because she's still going to be relatively new either way. So if you'd prefer to have just like this wide-eyed brand new person who's never interacted with anyone having to deal with the craziness, I'm cool to role play that out.
Okay, so that actually sounds quite interesting. Let's say I'm waiting for Jason to get back. I think that would be more fun, having like we'll actually use part of the session will be kind of the other two showing you the ropes and that kind of thing.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yeah. Will they actually tell you the truth? What will they leave out? All the good stuff. So I think that would be even more fun. Like it's your first day. That might actually that might be the name of the episode. Maid's first day. Oh my.
Perfect. Yeah, I think I filled in everything I need to on my sheet.
Cool. And again, I will after the session I'll give you the World Anvil links to get your person in place and all that kind of good stuff.
Right. To be honest, I keep forgetting about World Anvil.
It's okay.
I keep forgetting to open it up and look at it.
I use it as like, my guide for like, oh my God, I can't remember the name of this person or what's in this room and all that kind of stuff. So I have it open on the side generally. I totally forgot I had to open it momentarily, but yeah, for that kind of stuff. What was that, Steve?
I would argue we probably created too big of a family.
Well, the more the merrier, Yeah.
So is it normal in the system for just the player characters to be the staff and there not to be any like NPC staff? Or do the rules allow for it being like, oh, there are a lot, kind of like how in Downton Abbey there are like the main characters, but then there are just like lots of little side characters who are also running around and doing stuff? Does it have a preference for one way or another?
It has no preference. It does give instructions for both. Like, for example, there's the way we're doing it, where the player characters are the only staff. There's also like the situation where, like, oh, if you need this person, you need this position, they like show up and they're in the background, or they're full on NPCs. Also, I just figured that. I chose this direction in the sense that I figured this would be most interesting and most overwork the characters also. Having no fallbacks, like, oh, the maid will get to it. What maid? That maid. Now we have a maid. Oh, who does the driving now? Crap. That kind of thing. So I like the idea that you are all overworked. In addition to having to go through the horrors, you have to go through the social horror of, do you really have a day off? Do you have no one to depend on but yourselves, all three of you, for that huge house? That kind of thing. But yeah, the book does say you can do it either way. In fact, there's a whole section on like making it like, instead of like a manor house, it's a like a business. Like it does one where like it's like a tailor shop or rather a like a what, like a large boutique or something like that, and that kind of thing, and all the people are infighting amongst themselves in the shop and that kind of thing. So yeah, there's a whole different ways you can go with Bedlam Hall, and this is just what I think works out best for us.
Yeah.
Plus we
I feel like Bedlam Hall meets Ratatouille would be hilarious.
Yeah, we do have the chef who has kind of a showing here, if you will.
Yeah, I really hate the chef. They freak me out. Like more and more, like especially once Scarlett came back and they were like doing the creepy stuff with the cake and things, and she's like, I don't.
So how do we feel about cannibalism? Since that sort of maybe came up and we just tried to like ignore it.
Maybe it did, maybe it didn't. I don't know. That's part of the fun of Bedlam Hall.
Part of the mystique.
Part of the mystique.
Except for that, Adam definitely died. He's not.
Adam definitely died.
I'm not saying it happened. I'm not saying it didn't happen.
Sent up immediately.
I disavow any knowledge of the whereabouts of said youngling. There were no Skywalkers around to dispatch of such person. All right. Looks like Jason's having continuous problems. So since we're waiting, let's hear more about the maid. What does Stephanie look like?
Well, Stephanie is pretty small. Kind of short, kind of slight, not necessarily like a very healthy looking person. Not unhealthy looking, but like definitely more of like the kind of person that you'd see and be like, oh, I feel like she could probably blow away with a good gust of wind. So a little bit of the opposite of Croft in that sense, because Croft was a little bit more like spunky and physical.
Yeah, definitely.
Banker is slight, dark hair, just kind of like a generally sweet disposition and demeanor. So very much like what you would picture as like kind of the ideal in the background, just take care of things, yes miss, yes sir, like that sort of thing.
Excellent. What does her uniform look like? Does she have one, or is it just basically, a dress?
I think just I mean, honestly, I was picturing very much like what the picture in the book is. Just like that's what I've been picturing in terms of uniform, of like the black shirt with the apron and stuff, the hat.
The little hat. What's the hat for?
Yeah.
What is she hiding? It's a little
a pack of cigarettes.
All the cigarettes. All the drugs. Oh, here we go. Yay!
Internet has completely died at my place, so I'm on 3G right now.
Oh my goodness! All
Yeah,
right,
we've
let's.
we've rebooted the router several times and everything, and nope.
All right. Well, how about let's try to do the show must go on and see how we do. Ever for you, Jason?
Yeah. Well,
All
let's see what I
right.
can do. No roll 20, no nothing, but I'll manage.
Don't worry, we'll roll for you. Yes, that's the good stuff right there. All right. So as we're talking, so Stephanie Danker it's her first day on the job today. So it's up to Current and Reynolds to show her the ropes and guide her through the mystery that is that is the Manor House. Oh God, is she going to make it?
Are we
So
giving her
yes.
the tour?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's have some fun. So yeah, I'll say just for the sake of expedience, Current and Reynolds are both kind of guiding the tour at the same time, probably arguing amongst each other as they do so. But yeah, take her through. I'll let you guys steer this one. Show me where you're going. Don't be shy.
I think we're in the servants' hall, and I think we're just leaving that. And like, this is the kitchen where we get all of the food from the dumbwaiter at meal times. Um, don't ask about the cook; it's better not to know. There's a kitchen, we assume, below this because that's where the food comes from.
And you've never been in the kitchen?
That's horrible.
Talk about the kitchen.
And
We
the
don't
less
talk
said, the
about the
better.
kitchen. Okay. Okay. All right. I don't need any more information than that, I'm sure. That won't have any bearing at all in my job duties, I suppose.
We just all bring out the food at meal times, and the dishes, whatever comes up is what we serve.
You eat
Okay.
what you are served and nothing more, nothing less.
Oh, so we eat the food that the house eats as well.
It depends.
We never really thought about that, but
Sometimes different meals are served up for us, sometimes they're not. Can usually tell them apart.
And sometimes Mr. Current here just keeps a tray for himself. And I'll just continue.
Oh.
Very
So
funny.
we should head upstairs and show you the upstairs of the house before mealtime.
Okay.
And this
That will be your area of purview. Please come this way.
Okay.
turn you up a little bit there, Jason, so we can hear a little better.
yeah, his mic's a little bit lower than the other one.
Yep.
Like
Yeah, I boosted you a bit, FYI, so you're good to go.
what do we have on the upstairs here?
Now, as we're going up the stairs, which of you will I be reporting directly to? I'm not used to both a housekeeper and a butler. I've mostly been in smaller houses.
Oh my God! Already stirring the pot. Awesome.
As the head of the household staff, ultimately, all your actions and responsibilities will end up coming through me. But for most day-to-day responsibilities, Mr. Reynolds will suffice.
Okay. All right. I can handle that.
I will do better than suffice, good sir. Like Mr. Curran here seems to think himself far more capable and important than he actually is. I mean, after all, his time on this earth is fleeting.
Your assistance with Miss Croft was quite sufficient, indeed, if that's what.
Oh, is Miss Croft someone that I haven't met yet?
Miss Croft is no longer in the employ of.
She was
Is that something?
dismissed after conduct unbecoming of a chauffeur.
Okay. Well, since I'm not a chauffeur, I'm sure I don't have to worry about whether that would apply to me as well.
But her attitude was absolutely dreadful.
She was a violent bird to boot.
One could say that she had a razor wit and looks that could.
It's about that time that Sarah walks by. You now kind of like see the little differences as you recognize, the difference between her and Alexandrina. She walks on by just like a little girl does, just curious, and passes on by without saying anything to any of you.
I will smile when
I don't. I don't even like pay attention to her at all. I just continue.
So are we supposed to ignore the family unless they acknowledge us?
Well, the family generally will ignore you.
Okay.
I thought you said you had some experience in
Okay, perfect.
I'm like, I tend to only ignore the dead ones.
Wait.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm sorry.
It's neither seen nor heard, yet it's always ready to serve when called.
Yes, but Mr. Reynolds, can we talk about that for a second?
Of course. Like, you see this, and I'm sort of pointing like in the general direction of Mr. Current and Sarah as she walked past. I'm like, this is not living. This is, and I sort of, gesture broadly to myself. Note the difference in complexion. I have to use makeup for, to get such lovely pale skin, but to some it just comes naturally. And I sort of glare at Mr. Current.
I'm sorry. So you're saying that there are family members who are dead.
Unusual household.
But still, I can see that we don't talk about the chef. We insult one another I'm sorry.
Are you deaf, woman? Are you not aware that people do die eventually? Who do you think all these portraits are of?
Well, clearly, as Mr. Reynolds said, life is fleeting, and apparently yours more than most.
I am not.
You catch on quickly. You'll do well here.
Not nearly as fleet of foot as I once was.
If you pass,
if I am called upon, I can give it the old color.
You pass one of the doors, and there's this insane laughing from inside. And then it's like it dies out for a little while, and as you pass by.
I forget who was the insane laughter. That was
That would be Damien.
Damien, yes.
He's the one who turns into a wolf man thing. Of course, I don't know that.
No, I was like, I think I'll point out, that's likely Master Damien having one of his evening laughs.
Wonderful. I hope that we won't be asked to join in. I don't laugh very much.
You are fitting in better and better as the day goes on.
Called upon to do it in service of the house.
Laugh in service to the house. Oh my god. Cool. Yeah, so you're kind of passing through. You see Mortimer and Bartholomew. They pass. They're on like as you guys are walking this way, they're going on the cross hallway, talking about, sounds like some sort of money matters. It's hard to kind of hear what they're saying, but yeah, they totally ignore the fact that there are like other human beings in the cross hallway, and had you been there, they would have just bowled you over pretty much without even blinking, that kind of thing.
Of course, I'll bow as they walk by, but
An unnoticed bow, but they sure would have noticed if you hadn't.
like that is Lord Malbane and his eldest son Bartholomew.
Okay, wonderful. I curtsy, but just a moment after Reynolds, as I'm trying to follow his cue because this is not how I'm used to treating members of the family.
And Current, are you keeping up at this point? Are you still along with the group, or are you breaking off?
Pulling ahead slightly, picking up my pace a bit. Making them feel like laggards.
Excellent. It's probably working.
I hurry to catch up anxiously.
Yes, about the time that Stephanie or Ms. Danker catches up and like she's walking pretty much abreast of Current, that's when you hear the ah, 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 coming. Oh, that's the conservatory up ahead.
Should we do something?
I
Do what?
Yes, please. You should come hear the lovely performance of the children.
Okay. I'll kind of
As you kind
cautiously
of
make my way towards the door.
right, and it's open, of course, because why should they not share their music and creativity with the house? You poke your head in, and the twins Alexander and Alexandrine are there, and they're practicing on what appear to be woodwinds. They're doing in any other, it's like an oboe battle, something like that, oboe clarinet. And you can actually, Stephanie can actually see, as they puff into the instrument past the reed, that's when the scream happens.
Like the woodwinds are horribly out of tune, but we do our best to have them replaced as soon as possible when they get this way.
Okay.
No, those are human screams. There's no doubt that these are freaking human screams. You can hear the trembling of vocal cords that are pushed beyond their limits with this scream of utter horror and pain.
And I'm just kind of
I don't think I'm
eyes closed, kind of walking with the music.
Oh, that's too funny. What is Current here? I'm curious.
Oh, what is current here? Songbirds. I get
nice.
to listen when the nightingale sings.
Oh, nice.
okay.
Like, needless to say, we don't always stay for the performances. Please come along. There's many more rooms to see.
Some of us
wait,
culture and
was that is that the same person who is walking the opposite way from us? I kind of say as you guide me away from the conservatory.
Like, absolutely not. Alexandrina's in the best of health.
Okay.
Oh my God. I want to quit. I want to quit now.
It's true. I don't know for certain that Sarah has passed away, but she's certainly not someone that we see regularly.
She's certainly passed our way.
She has passed our way, yes.
Anyhow, let's get going, and I'll shove my way between the two of you and head out the door of the conservatory.
All right. Are you aiming for anywhere
I'm
particular?
going to I want to grab Mr. Curran's arm as he walks past and kind of put a hand on Mr. Reynolds' shoulder as well. I apologize for my familiarity of touching you, but I'm used to a certain level of decorum and professionalism. I'm not quite as familiar with your senses of humor, so I would perhaps prefer that as I'm getting the ropes, you would tell me things that are true, rather than making jokes about the dead Miss Malbane, for example.
Well, how is this for some truth? You're employed here, yes?
Yes.
You would like to keep the job, yes?
Yes.
Then anything that happens, ensure that you do your duties, and it will stay that way.
Okay, perfect. That shouldn't be a problem.
Also, let's just because again we just discussed this. Stephanie just inferred that you two are not ardent professionals, so I think that's innuendo. Yeah, should we call it
True.
innuendo?
True.
She did accuse us of lying.
Yes.
And you're liars and not professional. So go ahead and
Okay.
go ahead and Stephanie roll plus secret.
Is she necessarily doing it to gain a social advantage?
Oh, that's interesting.
I suppose I'm trying to gain the social advantage of having you change your behavior to speak more straightforwardly to me.
Or more point out that you are someone who does act with, better decorum than we're obviously acting.
And yeah, maybe she could teach you a thing or two. Oh.
Okay, that is a partial success.
All right, choose one.
Well, I think I will gain a prestige. I think
Excellent.
that was probably her goal of, listen, like, I'm not just some fresh-faced little person for you to push around and make jokes at my expense.
Excellent. Cool.
Wow.
So Current is steering you all. Where is Current headed to?
Mm, I bring us to the Lady Delilah's room. This, after all, it should be, the primary focus of the.
Right, and at least the two of you know that Lady Delilah has taken ill recently. She had one of her troubles, little spats there, and so she's kind of being nursed in her room. Every now and then, one of you is pretty much expected to bring by like a damp cloth and change out the one on her forehead, that kind of thing. You know, that kind of good stuff. Bring her, a bowl of broth, nothing but broth, that type of thing. So yeah, and you'd see like, she has that, if Stephanie sticks her head in the room, she'll see, the bed, she's like perfectly centered in it and kind of labored breathing. Like you'd see the cloth still glistening with a little bit of dampness on it. On her forehead, and otherwise she has the covers pulled up to like her armpits, just a little bit of her night clothing showing, and otherwise the room isn't lit. The windows, the drapes have been put down so that they're blocking out any and all, like there's a lot of sunlight going on, but any and all of what's there is type of thing. And yeah.
I will hurry over to the table, not the table, the bed. Lady Malbane, is there anything that you need? Anything that I can get for you?
She kind of like, you can tell she's just kind of out of it. You can tell, and she's like pale. She's definitely sickly, and she just kind of opens her eyes. It seems like it's a struggle to do so, and she sees you standing over her. Mortimer! Reynolds! Card! There's an intruder! There's an intruder!
I will rush over. Like, it's okay, Lady Malbane. She is a new employee brought in to
Get the
take care
guns
of.
out!
Worry not, my lady. I shall protect you with my very body.
Oh, she's just again just.
And I will very quietly leave the room.
That's too funny. Yeah, she's just kind of like her eyes go from terrified to kind of relaxed again, if only because that's all she had strength to muster up. And she looks at you. Such a sweet young thing. What's your name?
My name is Stephanie Denker, Lady Malbane.
There's no need to be familiar, young miss.
This is Lady Malbane, right?
It is.
No need to be. Wait, did you say there's no need to be familiar?
Yeah, like, and she's like, there's no need to be familiar. Danker will do.
Yes, Lady Malbane.
And she's like, bucket.
I'll grab the bucket.
Oh, this pea soup comes. It's vomit. It may have gotten on Danker. It's time for Danker to do her first. Ignore the strange. Well,
Okay.
it's probably not actually the first, but it's the first one that I'm going to say that like mattered.
Okay, that's with composure, right?
Oh yes, roll plus composure, please. 7.
All right.
Stephanie's in rare form. You know, she's on the right foot. On a 7-9, you're distracted, meaning your actions are somewhat compromised and less successful. I'll say that Stephanie, has a touch of vomit on her, but not nearly as much as there could have been, and manages to like, oh, that bucket. The one next to the bed, yes. There's something rolling around in the bottom of it. It's best not to look. And yes, after the initial burst, she's able to kind of bring the bucket up for Miss Malbane, or Delilah, Lady Malbane, as she kind of empties the rest of the broth that she'd had earlier into it. Be a good girl and empty that for me. And then she kind of like slumps back against the bed. You may leave.
Gladly. And I'll just kind of carry the bucket at arm's length.
And as I'll close the door, and like, she usually isn't this ill, but the cosmetics she uses are horribly filled with lead, and it's just, while it is so good for her complexion, the illness and the memory loss, they just, it's horrible to see in someone who is so much younger than the woman she replaced.
Oh, damn. And of course, rolling around Stephanie's mind has to be, why do we know about the lead makeup and still let her use it?
Will it be part of my duties to administer her makeup, or does she do it herself?
I surely hope so, because I really get tired of being called into her salon to help her with the back of her neck. While it's within my within my duties as housekeeper, certainly not something I prefer to do. The level of intimacy is inappropriate.
What was that current?
Oh yes, makeup is absolutely part of the maid's.
It's absolutely part of the maid's job.
Dressing and preparing family members' appearance.
Ooh, maybe. Is the maid
Okay, well,
the primary female's valet, basically? I have to look over the maid again.
yeah, and I think also kind of basically like all the things that Reynolds has been doing, I think would be things that the maid would do, of like cleaning stuff and dusting things, and probably like a lot of when he's cleaned the floor with mud and stuff. I think that's a lot of the maid's duties as well. So I will probably be very busy.
Yeah,
Gotcha. We'll figure it out.
They're somewhat mirrors of them. The valet's role, apparently, according to the book, is primarily the personal care and maintenance of a member of the family, whereas the maid's, more responsible for a specific member, but also the bedroom as a whole.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah. So it's about this time as you get out of there. Ms. Denker empties the bucket. Notices the little dab right there as she's in the toilet, and maybe wipes that off.
Mm-hmm.
And it's about then that as Stephanie's coming out of the room, exactly, she everyone hears the boom, boom, boom of the knocker at the front door.
Well,
what do you do?
Mr. Curry would be the first one to reach the door to open it, given that he already left Delilah's room a while. But I don't know what the other two are up
to. I'll ask. Care to see who's arriving at the manor?
Certainly, yeah.
Maybe we'll go to the balcony over the main hall.
From a distance, we'll view the interloper. Yes, that's some Bette Midler for you there. That's the best I do. That's my
not all the people who come are worthy of a proper reception.
So, Current, you open the door, and again, the other two can quite well see, from their position on the stairwell above, etc. Opens the door, and there are these two guys there. One is kind of tall, thin, and looks kind of muscular. The other is kind of shorter and sturdier, fatter. And they both look they're dressed, like they're ne'er-do-wells. They even look like they're not good people. They have that thing about them where they're kind of looking you up and down, like, and they're definitely, low class, which is completely unacceptable. But yeah, there's the one guy kind of tips his hat to you. It's like, we're here to see Bot.
Bot.
What did you say, Kurt? I'm sorry.
Bot? You say? There's nobody here by that name. I'm afraid you must move along.
the stout guy kind of goes, "Oh, Eddie, he's all hoity-toity," and he's like, excuse my associate, he meant Bartholomew Malbane. As this is Malbane Manor, certainly he lives here. He's like, see, that's how you do it, Eddie.
Well, I would Malbane Manor. Members of the family are known to come and go, and to reside for extended periods of time at many of the other properties owned by the family. So, as I do not know currently, I cannot guarantee the presence of Bartholomew. We can look. Who is it that I might say is calling?
The shorter guy's like, "This is Eddie. My name's Jimmy."
Jimmy. And what is the nature of your business of which you call upon Bartholomew?
Oh, says Jimmy, the shorter guy. He's like, you could say it's half financial and half fisticuffs, depending on how this goes.
I would like to appear at Current's shoulder and pat him on the shoulder and put my hand on his arm. Oh, there you are, Mr. Current. Please excuse me. Mr. Current likes to play along. Who were you looking for? I'll be happy to get them for you if you're looking for someone specific in the Malbane family.
Like we're at the wrong place. Oh, we were looking for the Malbanes. Oh, that's our mistake. Yeah. So yeah, Jimmy's like, we're looking for Bartholomew.
Oh, then I am afraid that you've come to the wrong place because we don't have anyone named Bartholomew here.
They kind of look at each other. It's like, well, you tell Bartholomew, who doesn't live here, that if he doesn't have our money by tonight, we'll be back and we'll be less friendly to the staff and to his kneecaps.
And you just bear in mind that the Malbanes don't take kindly to interlopers who are here and threatening them. I very much request that you leave before we have to call the authorities, and don't come back. There's no one named Bartholomew.
Yeah, they'll kind of like give them a little chuckle to that, like, yeah, we're afraid of the police, and we'll kind of, well, nice to meet you, young miss. We'll be seeing you as well as Bartholomew, who lives here and who's here right now.
World, far more fierce.
What was it? I'm sorry,
what did you say?
There are things in this world that are far more fearsome than. It may do you well to be afraid of those things.
So yeah, they kind of like give you a little wink and go on their way. And Stephanie, you definitely went above and beyond. You served the house. So
Cool.
let's do that. Yeah, you kind of backed up the butler. Was your job. So yeah, roll plus fortitude. See how you do.
Oh, my fortitude is not good. Okay,
Ooh,
well, that's a 5.
5. So let's see her. Let's say that you well, I'm trying to think of another. It seems like the most reasonable thing is that you lose the prestige you just got because you kind of like overstepped your bounds, as it appears. Instead of serving the house, you tried to usurp the station of butler, etc., etc.
Gotcha. Alas.
So close. Alas.
So as the door closes, I show up in the near the entrance. Like,
in the nick of time.
Seems it would be good to have Miss Croft around after all. And I continue walking.
Oh, damn.
I must now go consult with Bartholomew about his gentleman callers.
Mr. Current, what possessed you to tell them that Mr. Malbane lives here?
As servant of no family and a position of mine, deceptions and lies are far beneath us and sully both ourselves and all those around them.
Well, I think that one of the important duties of anyone serving a noble family is to present them with the best possible appearance to the outside world. And the idea that Mr. Malbane might be associated with either of these ne'er-do-wells is hardly a very respectable view. So, perhaps in the future, since you are such a noble and important butler and such menial duties are beneath you, you should allow me to answer the door in the future under all occasions, just so that we can take care of business in the most convenient way for your noble personage, Mr. Current.
Oh, damn. I'm not even sure what to do with that. I'm unwrapping that still.
To speak as much as you want, Miss Stink, but your betters are not obliged to listen to your hollow words at all. Anyhow, I shall be off. Perhaps you might have better luck assaulting the ear of Miss.
So I will be answering the door in the future then?
I am going to pointedly be walking away and not answering.
I would like to roll to direct the staff.
Ooh. So the direct to staff I think is more of like an like in the moment thing as to like as opposed this is more like you're trying to change the duties of the person. So I'm not sure it's triggered that.
Gotcha.
So when he next goes to do it and you're like perhaps I should answer the door. That's a direct the staff type of thing.
Noted. Cool.
So does Reynolds continue the tour as current with
the tour,
Danker?
Show the bedrooms and perhaps the library to Miss Danker.
Oh my.
Or like his... Don't mind Mr. Current, his temper certainly hasn't improved after his incident.
After his incident.
Oh, of course not. I should not have overstepped my bounds. You see, the advice that I got at my first establishment was to always try to put your best foot forward and impress the household, but it appears that I am not doing so. But I'll learn the habits and peculiarities soon enough.
It was good advice. Why did you leave your first household?
Oh well, you see, dear Lady Bradford was very old, and she relied entirely on me. I was basically the entirety of the household except for the cook. And then, being old, she, similarly to apparently some members of this house, passed away, but she was not so obliging as to return. So I was left unemployed and uncared for by her. Well, I won't speak ill of her family because they were, after all, her family. But let's just say that any provisions she may have made for me were not executed.
And it's horrible when a matriarch passes. Hopefully it was within its own time and not hurried along.
Oh, I certainly hope not. Never occurred to me.
Naivety.
I was gonna say, sounds very idyllic. And I'll poke my head into the library, see if anyone's there.
Not at the moment.
Mainly a lot of dusting here. Try not to dust anything on that shelf, and I'll point to the shelf behind the where the secret door is. That I don't point. There's no secret door, but definitely don't dust much on this shelf. It's better to leave it.
Is that a preferred aesthetic of the house? The dusty single shelf?
I wouldn't say it's preferred aesthetic, but you'll have far less chance of running into anything unexpected.
What the hell is it? Like, what do you mean? Elaborate, motherfucker! Oh my god! How Stephanie can keep it under, I don't know.
Can I try to ignore the strange of just Reynolds just seems to be off his rocker of just
Reynolds is the strange. Yeah.
all.
I think I am the strange here.
Yeah, probably. Let's go for
every
it.
room that I tell you about has some interesting flaw that I try not to explain.
Exactly.
You try not to explain.
All right.
Oh gosh.
Yep. Yeah, go for it. Ignore the strange. Roll plus
I did.
composure.
I just did, and I did not succeed.
Excellent. So yeah, you'll oh, interesting. So I'm gonna say that like I'm trying to think. So there's no real thing that hits me, but other than that, the strange gets stranger. So you're like, okay, so you know, you're kind of he's giving you instructions. Okay, don't ever dust this thing, and then that book is just out of alignment with the others, and it's so upsetting. It's like it must. Why can't this one book just be aligned? It was perfect all across, and then this one, and that's when you have no choice but to like try to write it because you can't ignore this.
Okay, so well, surely, even if we leave the books undusted, we would at least make sure that they're appropriately lined up. And I'll just, with a very, run my hand along the spines of the books, and then, as if to just very satisfiedly be like, was this so hard? Clearly this house is not run well by all of the men. I'll just push the book in.
Right, and then that's when you hear the click, and just to your right at the end of the room there.
And I step in and shut the door of the library quickly. I told you to leave it.
Technically, you told me not to dust it. I have not broken any instructions that you gave. Perhaps you should have been a bit more specific. Is this your first time supervising staff?
Oh my god. Holy balls. Before we get to into any triggered rolls, you do definitely both smell that wafting of copper, it seems, that comes to your nostrils. It's kind of unmistakable. Like, that's weird. I'd normally be popping over to Jason, but Jason has left us for the moment.
Like, you want to tempt fate even further? By all means, open the door, go in, have a look around.
Can I?
Or, if you would like to keep your position, perhaps you should leave now.
What was that, Philip? Stephanie?
Oh, I was definitely trying to drop innuendo that he should not be in the position that he's.
Sure.
Well,
Let's
by all means, drop innuendo, and then I will direct you away.
Oh my! All right, yeah, let's do it. Let's drop some innuendo.
7.
Let's see. Per success, choose one.
Okay. I think I'm still trying to gain prestige, just because.
Okay, so gain it
trying
back.
to establish myself in. Yes.
Perfect.
We're going to be bouncing back and forth, I feel like, as you try to direct me to leave.
And I'll repeat, I'm like, unless you want to lose your position, you'll leave now and not go in or ever return to that room.
Does Stephanie resist, or is she going to do as she's told?
I mean, technically I get to direct anyways.
Yeah, that's true. Well, yeah, let's let the roll decide. If he fails, then I'll. It just says when you want others on staff to follow your roll plus etiquette. So, it seems like that's regardless.
Oops.
All right. Holy jollies.
You must follow my directive immediately or lose 1 prestige.
Okay. Oh, do you roll with extra for directing the staff as the housekeeper?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Well, I will for sure. Well, I certainly would like to keep my position. I've never been dismissed before, and I don't intend to start to. I apologize that my sharp words were sharp, and I will just kind of spin in. Now, what room do we need to tour next?
As you're, closing, you see me, carefully with like 2 fingers, like, press on the door frame, so I'm not, making any smudge marks or anything, and close it.
Yes. And as a note, again, the directed staff is on the spot type of stuff, so this doesn't actually stop you from, at a later date, exploring on your own.
No, I will absolutely be exploring on my own, for sure.
Excellent.
There's no way I'm not returning to a strange, mysterious door.
Entire personality summed up in one sentence. Better than
Ooh, yeah, speak up a
What
little
was
bit.
the last one?
Nick Stinker's entire personality, I think, is just 3 words. Better than you. Or at least that's what she believes.
Oh, funny. All right, so let's hop over to Mr. Current. Mr. Current, you're after just a little searching, you're able to find Bartholomew. He and Lord Malbane, are in the smoking room, and it sounds like their conversation has continued on money matters.
Smoking room. What do they seem to be drinking? Is there like a bottle nearby?
They probably have out a couple snifters of brandy at the moment.
Glide in, top off their drink.
Excellent. Yeah, they barely notice you did that. They're kind of it's almost like you're a ghost, and like they're just like enjoying their drinks and not even noticing anyone's around, and they just kind of keep drinking their drinks. You fill it like as like one puts it down, you fill it and he takes a drink as if nothing is different. And that smell of gunpowder just reeks in your nose at this moment. That's always in this room. Oop, get a little closer to the mic. I'm not hearing you.
Fair enough. Anything else Lord would be requiring?
They kind of like, I don't know, nothing current. Oop, sorry, you're cutting out yourself there.
I have been entrusted with a private communication for you.
Did you say Bartholomew, or are you directing it at someone? Okay, yeah.
It's Bartholomew, so I have been entrusted with a private communication I am to deliver unto you.
It's like, kind of like he kind of jolts out of like servants don't exist mode, and is like, oh, you piqued my interest, Current.
Come over here just for a moment, and I will relay the message.
Out of the ordinary, but I'm sure I'll acquiesce. With that, he kind of steps over, puts his head like close, like kind getting ready to hear this secret.
All right. And a Mr. Eddie and Mr. Jimmy were at the door of the manor earlier, not long ago, and they claimed that you owed them a sum of money, or they were going to inflict bodily harm upon your. Are you familiar with this, or do you have any further instructions that you wish done in regards to these?
Yeah, so you don't even finish your sentence. You don't even finish your sentence, and he kind of lets it's kind of like he's on a delayed understanding reaction when you speak. So there's that time when, and then he does the the brandy spit take on you. You've just gotten a spray of brandy into your face, and he's like, "They came here. They came to this door.
They knocked on the front door not half an hour past.
And are they here? Are they in the manor?"
They left, but promised to return later this evening to inflict violence upon yourself, as well as the staff and anyone else they lay eyes on, unless they are placated with an unspecified sum of lucre.
He kind of looks towards his father, and this is the first time he's touched you in forever. But it's not any comfort. It's to steer you farther away from Lord Malbane, in his really great hearing. And he's like, did he infer that perhaps inflicting pain upon the staff would cause enough harm to the family to leave for the night? Yes, is that a possibility?
Quickly say, and I shall break Bartholomew's kneecap.
Kneecaps, rather like mine. Well,
fabulous specimens, but I would hate to see them broken or damaged in any way.
He's like, me as well. Okay, mention this to no one else.
Originally, they claimed they were only going to go after you, but when I attempt to stall and redirect them, then they extended their ire to the entire house.
Oh, good job, Current.
Though matters were muddied a bit by the new maid. Quite an impertinent. But,
it's the maid's fault.
But
that's definitely some dropping some innuendo.
It is to her credit, though. She's something of a spitfire, and she does have a step back. If this matter were to get any more involved, she may prove more than she is.
Oh my goodness. I'm not sure what you're doing. It's maybe send out the maid. So I was interested. So I was going to call innuendo on that, but you kind of followed it up with positive stuff to balance things out. So I won't. I'll say this hasn't triggered. But yes, he's like, Current, I need you to do me several favors. I need first, tell none of the rest of the staff. He's completely oblivious to the fact that you've already mentioned 2 out of the 3 staff members. Do you understand?
Absolutely.
Very well. I need you to do one of 2 things. I need you to either start loading up the rifles downstairs, or find some money lying around in the house. Tell no one. Do you understand, man?
Money. would need to be gathered to placate the.
This is my plan, Current. You don't need to tell it back to me.
Very well. I shall proceed to load the rifle.
Nice. All right. And on that note, we're at our halfway mark, so let's do our halfway through break. We'll see you in 10, and we'll see if rifles get loaded, if money's lying around. I mean, shit, this is a version of the Adams Family, you never know. And we'll see how the Maid continues to fare, if Reynolds is going to lose his crap and just, give her all the reality at once. We don't know yet.
My room is fine.
We shall find out. So, all right, I'll see y'all in 10, all righty?
Okay.
Cool.
All right,
cool,
see you in 10. All right, and we are back from break. Jason continues to be the trooper soldiering on without internet, etc. So we praise him greatly. The show must go on, as they say. But yes,
You me greatly by not murdering me again.
The night is young.
There's no worries about my murdering you.
Yeah,
I got it out of my system.
I got it out of my system. It's like the tank fills up eventually, and you're like, ah.
right.
No, yeah, that's it's Philip's trouble.
You just felt a little need for the old ultra-violence?
Funny. All right, let's do this. So yes, so Current is off loading weapons apparently. Let's see, where did we leave off? The Reynolds and Danker, where did they go to?
I think we finished the tour.
Yeah, the tour, finishing the tour probably. I probably would completely skip the attic.
It's wise. Why go there on day one, or do you want to just test all the limits,
I will wait until something needs sent up there.
Oh my. All right, where do you finish the tour at?
Let me look at my horrible notes of the manor. I will say the dining hall. So I think we come upon them, and I'm explaining, so this is Wednesday, and on the third Wednesday of every month, this is the seating order, and, I'm just pointing at chairs, like, not in order. I'm not going down the line. I'm going, like, Peyton sits there, and, Sarah, or Sarah doesn't sit really anywhere, but, she sits wherever she wants if she's here, and I just go through all of it, and then Petunia gets the spot next to the fireplace, but only on the third Wednesday. On the second Wednesday, she's, at the end of the table. And I don't tell her what Petunia is.
Petunia. Oh my god.
Is there a seating chart?
No, you'll get used to it.
I'm sure I will.
Ideally, it's part of the butler's position, but we know he can't be everywhere at once.
No, certainly not. If I need to run an errand into town, for the house, of course, is that something that I could do before dinner?
Well, it depends how fast you run. Unfortunately, without a chauffeur, we're left without a vehicle or someone to drive it. Well, we were left without a vehicle after they crashed the vehicle, but either way, there was no one to drive it.
Oh, is that why the chauffeur was dismissed?
Not directly. I believe it was after a violent outburst with, I forget, she broke down a door. She ended up destroying a door in the servants' quarters. It was very inappropriate.
That sounds tremendously inappropriate.
Well, and then there was the small matter of her. I'll say, then there was the small matter of her, inflicting bodily harm upon Mr. Current.
Oh, I understand now why you say that his life is more fleeting than others.
No, I don't believe you do, but
Excellent.
I think we're getting ready for evening dinner.
I think I'll go track him down and ask him something.
Please. I'm sure he'll want nothing more than your questions.
Perfect. You're both so accommodating. Thank you.
So Reynolds, you're left alone in the dining hall, the dining room, and you kind of hear that telltale, like, there's that sound that comes from the dumb waiter when something is delivered, and like it's basically like the rope being pulled to its end, and like the top of the dumb waiter like hitting the top of its access, if you will, and that's happening right now.
I'll kind of look askance at the, where the sun would be outside if it was actually sunny. I go, seems early for that. No, go to the dumbwaiter.
And so yeah, you open the dumbwaiter, and there's just one kind of topped, like one of those toppers that I keep talking about that I really should look up the names for, but I don't know what they're. There's only one of those in there. You take it. You kind of take the top off, and it says it's another cake. This one is in two pieces. The left half says, "Scarlet, you've broken," and then on the other side, "My heart," and it's in a heart. It's in a broken heart shape. And there's a fork already on there waiting to be eaten with, or whatever, used to be eaten.
Oh, it's like a small cake?
Yeah, it's like a small cake like that.
Oh.
I think in a rare display of, I don't know, maybe compassion, Reynolds is going to try and fix the cake and still give it to Scarlet.
How are you going to try to fix it?
He's going to try and push it together and smooth out the writing so it appears to be like some sort of interesting decoration or something. I mean, I could go horribly wrong and there could be cake everywhere, but
no, it comes around. I'll in fact you can serve the house. This is you're doing something even more than is
not
expected.
Something I should do, but
right, exactly. So yeah, go ahead and serve the house. Roll plus fortitude.
But a chance to fail? Why not? Oh, partial success.
All right, you can either either roll with something extra or gain prestige. Which would you like?
I'll gain a prestige since I'm at 1 right now, and that's precarious position.
That is a precarious position. Excellent.
And so I'll still bring it to Miss Scarlet. I was hoping it'd be something to lighten your mood. As I'm actually tending to the lamps, ironically. But maybe something to cheer you up.
She kind of gives you that meek look, like, she's always, it looks like she's always on the edge of afraid, and she's in bed in her room, and then she kind of gets out and, probably to that end table that you put it on, and she's like, you're so sweet, Reynolds. Thoughtful. And she goes and
to serve the staff or to serve the house.
serve this down. Yeah, she starts digging into it. Almond cake?
I believe so, yes.
Kind of keeps eating it. And she has like her bedside water carafe that's always there and drinks it down and goes back to the cake, drinks it again, eats it again, and all of a sudden she's like,
I got it after you said almond cake, and it just took a few seconds to seep in.
and yeah, we'll leave you there for a second.
I think I might need to ignore the page when I get back. So it doesn't take too long, Stephanie or Ms. Danker. Mm-hmm. You kind of wander around a little bit. You hear, again, there's weird sounds coming from here or there. But eventually you find Current. And Current, are you like loading rifles right now somewhere?
Yeah, no, downstairs. The various guns that are mounted on the walls have all been, taken down and like laid on an end table or propped up against the wall, roughly where they were. And yes, I have been loading because I expect a lot of these are more historical weapons, like single shots. And that I'm going to pay special attention to that blunderbuss.
The blunderbuss of doom, right?
Just
in what sense?
Going to especially get loaded. And that's going to be laid next to the front door.
Oh, nice.
Just standing up. And then once the various firearms are done, I'm going to start pulling down a few of these swords and axes and taking a whetstone to them and making sure they are extra sharp. I am definitely taking the initiative here to, I guess, not improve the functioning of the house, but
I mean, yeah, it is.
Prevent the malfunctioning of the house.
Oh God, holy shit. Okay, yes, let's serve the house. Roll plus fortitude.
Yeah, roll it +1, please.
Oh, sorry, forgot about that. Roll 2d6 +1. Oh my goodness, it's an 11. I should roll for you all the time, right?
Nice.
All right, so you can roll something extra for the remainder of the scene or gain the prestige.
Oh, you get both for a high roll.
And gain. There. Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, okay, so you do both. So yeah, gain prestige, and just keep in mind you're rolling with something extra.
Yep.
Cool. Awesome. So yeah, Ms. Denker, you come into the tail end of this. He's literally like has this large battle axe looking thing, like looks like it came out of some ancient Viking camp or something like that. And there's this whetstone just rolling along the edge. And like there's a whole stack of old rifles and other sundry munitions stacked next to him.
Oh, Mr. Current, I see you're taking the threats of Mr. Eddie and Mr. Jimmy very seriously.
I did my required duties. As you must learn to do your required duties. And I informed Mr. Bartholomew of his visitors earlier. Now I am simply following his instruction. Well, maybe taking things a bit further than he said, but I'm sure he will appreciate
it. I'm sure he will as well. I'm actually pleased to see that you have finished, because I was going to ask you a favor. I'm planning to head into town in order to purchase new cosmetics for her ladyship, and was hoping that you would accompany me, since I am not exactly the safest of people walking about on my own with strange ruffians about. Scott, if possible, I'd like to be triggering my "Can you lend a hand" move,
Oh,
because I assume
nice.
going into town to purchase new cosmetics counts as serving the house. So
Definitely. So
I'm
let's take a look.
asking someone to help me rolling persuasion.
Perfect. So let's take a look. Cool, and thank you for prompting me on that. I appreciate it. All right, so let's just to remind everybody, when serving the house, which this is, ask someone to help you and roll plus persuasion. So go ahead and let's roll persuasion, and we'll see where that brings us on this list.
Okay. 9.
A 9.
They helped me, and
let's
I choose 1.
Cool. All right. What do you want to choose?
I would like for us both to get a prestige.
Ooh, nice. All right. I will just take note of that, Jason. Current. And awesome. So yeah. Interesting. Yeah, so it basically, like, you have to help the nice little lady. I mean, I would be just untoward for you to allow her to go into town alone, unchaperoned, and with all these no ne'er-do-wells wandering the streets at this hour.
Well, does the family have another vehicle that is not currently in a state of useless disrepair, or anything else that we'd be able to actually go into town with, or do we just have to?
According to Mr. Reynolds, we do not have a car, but as you said, you take precedence over Mr. Reynolds, so I thought that perhaps you would have an ingenious way of helping us.
The previous chauffeur was not very good at her job and never kept a proper accounting. So thus, yes, to let. Are you ready to leave upon the knot?
Absolutely. I already have my hat and my coat.
Good, excellent. One moment. And I will strap on one of the short swords, and I will put one of the pistols in my pocket.
Oh, that's so awesome. So yeah. So
come, let us go to the garage and see what we may find there.
Oh my, this is interesting. So yeah,
I'd like to grab a comically large gun on my way out behind him.
Is it the blunderbuss by the door?
That seems most accessible. Sure, yeah.
An excellent choice for somebody who is not a practiced marksman.
Yeah, I suppose it'll destroy anything in the general vicinity. Yeah, you guys kind of go over.
I don't know about unpracticed, but it's easier than what I'm used to.
Just what are you using?
Oh, getting my way.
Getting my what?
Getting my way.
Oh, getting my way. Oh my goodness. So yeah, there's this blunderbuss that's probably as tall as Denker. It's might as well be used as a walking staff. As you get out to the garage, yeah, there's like there's this other vehicle in there, It looks like it was used for parts and stuff by the former chauffeurs. So I'll say that this jalopy can get you one ride into town, and then it fails. It just destroys itself. And this will give you the opportunity, maybe to arrange rides, like scheduled cars coming in at various days or times and that kind of thing. That'll be our quasi NPC potentially, as we were talking about kind of before.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Regular trips with the car service. Good idea. Or is there anything else that might be conveyance? Bicycles, perhaps?
I'll say that there are no bicycles, but that's certainly something that can be acquired in town.
And we can take. You said we can take the car and have time to go in and back in the car, and then that'll destroy it, or just into town.
Just into town, and then just in a town, then it's gonna just fail and almost explode on you, that type of thing.
Okay. Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with riding bikes with firearms.
What could go wrong?
Well, yeah, I guess we can take this jalopy into town and get some bicycles.
Okay.
Perhaps you could be the one to drive it. I don't know how.
Yes, that won't be a problem.
Won't it? Let's serve the house and find out.
I mean, I have driven a car before. This is a relatively straight road.
So now, do I need to roll for serving the house, or going off the ground? Who needs to roll?
I'm thinking it's more of a serve the house than go off the grounds because we're in a vehicle. But
right.
Well, I'm at +1 either way. But yeah.
Yeah. Now for the maid move, that kind of supersedes serving the house. When you do it like that.
I think it's both. I think it's when I use the move, serve the house.
Is it?
Yeah.
At least that's how I understood it.
I think you have to use one move and then the other.
Yeah.
All right, let's take another look real quick.
I think whether you're successful or not on the maid move, you still have to serve the house.
Let's see.
Because it's capitalized, which is usually what they're doing when into like game thing.
Yeah, so when performing the move, serve the house, it then triggers lend hand. So.
Yeah, because it includes stuff that affects serving the house, like roll with something extra to complete the work, which I assume means you roll with something extra when you actually serve, like when you do the serve the house.
And I guess ultimately this is you leading the serve the house, which is the going in to try and get things that will make Delilah, actually better. And yeah, I think that would improve that.
So why don't you both serve the house then?
Nice.
All right.
You're both doing the thing. The serving the house before was like basically when Current was getting the guns ready and all that kind of good stuff. So yeah, you're both serving the house by doing this, so that's fair. That's right. I have to roll for you. What's your serve the house roll? A 2.
I'm at +1, but I also get to roll with something extra because of my previous serving the house. Roll with something extra for the remainder of the scene.
All right, cool. So that's 13.
Then
nice.
That'll be another prestige and more rolling with something extra until we get back.
Excellent. And
he is. I rolled a 2.
With something extra?
I don't think I had something extra because that's not the option I picked. I picked for us to get prestige.
Right. All right. Okay, we'll find a way for that to come back and bite you, but not at the moment.
Great.
Yeah. So forgot to bring us over to the screen here. All right. Let's go back to Mr. Reynolds. So Scarlet is now frothing at the mouth. Cake is the remaining cake that she had there is rolling out of it. She's now flopped over off the bed onto the floor. It's not a pretty sight. The sounds like someone's violently strangling her, but there is no one there. What do you do?
One, do I have to ignore the strange, this violent murder attempt?
Yeah,
Soon a violent murder.
yeah. Let's see if you can ignore the strange long enough to even do anything. Yeah, that's funny.
I'm screaming.
Let's see here. Yep, North Strange.
I'm somewhat distracted. Imagine.
You are distracted. I mean, your actions.
I think I'm like rushing around the room, trying to get water. Not exactly sure how to help, since I just fed her a poisoned cake from the cook. Apparently. Do I? Let's see. Anything in this house that I'm aware of that would help?
Yeah, it's a good question.
Nothing in the conservatory. Nothing that I know of in the parlor. I did leave a couple bottles on the special shelf in the drawing, or in the
pantry.
But I think I will rush to get those. I mean, it couldn't hurt.
Couldn't hurt. That's an understatement.
What's the worst that could happen?
But I think there's the view of like Reynolds sprinting across the main hall, and
sprinting
his
back.
fancy outfit.
Yeah. Yeah, he should be wearing cleats, it seems, but somehow magically gliding across.
Never enough carpet in these houses.
There is never enough carpet. That's interesting. So I don't think it triggers a real move. But yeah, so you basically get her like this stuff. Do you kind of like put her on her back and start pouring it down her throat?
I'll try and put her on her back and try and give her some of it, which, not holding out any hope here, so.
Yeah, she has this look of just, I mean, the normal terror she has in her eyes +4 type thing. And she you can feel her try to gulp this stuff down. And it's just it seems like it's not doing much. She still is just trying to say something or do something, or she's looking furtively around, and it's just it's like this is bad. This is bad. This is really bad. But yeah, let's put a little pin in this for a second.
Oh no! Oh. Another neck, make her swallow it. Oh no!
So yes. So in town. Meanwhile in town. You pretty much are able to get to the edge of town, where the shops are, and suddenly the jalopy just gives up the ghost, as they say, and you just hear everything cracking and breaking at once. The axle suddenly is a wheel actually rolls straight off of it. You start it's you smell this burning, and sure as heck, a few seconds later there's this black smoke coming out of it that's definitely burning oil, literally on fire oil. You're kind of more or less able to get out. I'll say that as Stephanie's trying to act all cordial, she's been raised to a higher standard, etc. And as she's trying to get out, that's when she catches some of the burning oil that spits out onto her arm, and that just immediately burns through her clothes, and there's like this. You can smell like, yep, that's Stephanie there, type of thing. But yeah, it's easily to put out, but you're gonna still take one trauma, and then hops out a bit faster after that.
I don't notice any of that happening as I get out, and it's like you see this absolute wreck of an automobile. As you can see, this is proof positive that the previous chauffeur was absolutely dreadful at her job. I'm sure you could have done better.
Speaking ill of the departed.
Well, thank you. I must agree that it seems like the previous chauffeur was truly horrendous.
Yeah, Current is obviously ignoring the fact that Denker has just patted herself out. Oblivious to the fact that the newbie was on fire for a little bit. To be expected, really.
So much better. Intelligent, kind, polite, extremely competent. I must say, Miss Denker, you are everything.
Everything what?
She was not.
Well, thank you. Forgive me if this is imprudent, but did she kill you? I would like to. I'd like to confirm my suspicion that Current is dead.
That's fair. All right, roll plus persuasion.
Oh, please do better than last time. No.
Oh, is it the 6?
I failed.
All right.
Yep, that was the 6. Wait, if I spend a prestige, it'll bump up to 7, right?
Yes, it will.
I think I will do that. I'll spend a prestige to bump up to 7.
All right. Okay, so let's see. So 7 and 9. The secret is confirmed as true or false, and the other person may choose one of the following. So, Current, is it true or false? Or you can just role play it out and then choose your thing from the list. Oh, sorry. You probably don't have it in front of you. I'm sorry. So
am I dead? I was killed. Yes. As far as whether or not I am dead yet, no one has been able to confirm that. And upon seeing me, the local vicar fainted dead away. So it's not like they were any help. But yes, that was also one of the things the previous chauffeur had. I know that I am upright and I am walking and I am talking, but I also know that I was dead and buried. Something happened. I don't know.
And in that case, I'm sorry for your loss, I suppose.
It's mostly a loss that she managed to flee the country before I came back.
All right. So you also get to choose one from the list.
About one of Stephanie's.
Ooh. So
I have no internet, but I still have the PDF.
Oh, okay. Cool. So you develop a suspicion. So let's see. So we've never gotten to this. Stephanie, I don't feel that I'm ready to give a piece of that. Are you, Stephanie? Is there a suspicion we can gather from anything?
Yeah, I think as long as we role play it out later, I definitely have an idea I could message it to him. I feel like there's not really anything. Oh no, actually no, it's perfect. It's perfect. I'll message it to him and to you. I'll message it to you first and see if appropriate.
I'm sure.
Is that good?
I'm sure it's fine. I'm not concerned.
I
You're all
generally
quite
won't-
very good judges of all this stuff, so I'm quite confident. So don't worry about it. As long as Current knows.
Okay.
I won't be able to see it till we're done, but that's fine. I don't need to do anything with it. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. All right. So yeah. So you basically get out of the jalopy. It's destroyed. You pretty much abandon the vehicle there. I mean, what else is there to do at this point? Stephanie will be getting some cosmetics. Current, are you going to go right away and get some bicycles?
Yeah. I'm the first one I'm going to look for is actually one of those like deliveryman's bicycles. It's like the 3 wheels with the large storage basket behind it.
Oh, nice. Yep, definitely.
You know the sort?
I absolutely do. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because if we're going to be without an automobile for a while, we will need to be able to bring parcels to and from.
Excellent.
So
Yeah, you can definitely find that and just put it on the account of Malbane Manor. This stuff gets more or less magically paid off at different times. Mostly by, I think, is it? Yeah, the housekeeper generally pays off the bills and stuff, right? If I recall, housekeeper has the ledgers.
Yep. Have the accounts and stuff.
Excellent.
I think.
All right, cool. Yeah, and part of, as part of like your serving the house, you did really well. So yeah, that's not going to be a problem. Are you going to get more than one bike or just the one bike?
Sure. I guess it would be useful to also just get like sort a regular bicycle as well.
Like a basket on the front type of thing, pretty standard.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, like a cargo delivery bike and then just a regular bike. So there might need to be more than one of us leaving in the future. But definitely
Foreshadowing.
I mean, I could just get away with cargo bike to go back and just put Miss Denker in the basket behind. I'm sure it'll be comfortable going over all the bumps.
Denker is cargo. It's all right.
Only one bike? I would like a bike too.
Yeah, you can get one regular bike and one delivery bike.
All right, easy enough. Yep. Yeah, they're happy to put it on the ledgers. Things been paid off pretty well these days. There's no, questions. Outside of Bartholomew's dealings, that is. But yeah. So next thing you know, you're riding home. The jalopy is now on fire as you leave the town. There's like the fire warden is called out, and next thing you know, you see people with buckets of water pouring over it as you're kind of just ignoring the scene and heading out of town as the sun starts to go down a little bit.
Do you see that, Miss Denker? The remains of that car are much like me. Both of us were mistreated by the chauffeur, and both of us burn with rage. That's a result.
I certainly felt the burning of the rage of the car. And I kind of rub my arm a little bit.
Are you sure you don't know anything about the previous chauffeur?
I mean, I know what has been told to me.
Of course you don't. Anyhow, let's go. Put your back into it. We need to get back to the house before the moon is high in the sky. And we'll set up on the bicycle. Awesome. And I'll make a point to ring the bell.
All right, Reynolds. You're back at back in the room. Scarlet has ceased. What?
I was going to say I only have 2 Hail Marys if nothing else worked.
Ooh, I'm ready to hear them, please.
I mean, my choices are to either fetch the gardener, because surely there's something herbal that could be, helpful. Although that's not actually helpful for arsenic poisoning. Or two, steal something from the attic.
Oh my.
Which,
Interesting.
already has someone that occasionally gets up and walks around who's, very, very dead. So.
Oh my goodness. That's an interesting one. Oh wow. Oh wow. So
I think I'm gonna have to steal something from the attic. I think that's the most likely.
well, I mean, we could look at this two ways. Either A, so you're talking about your dreadful move or your terrible move. Is that what
It could be that, or I could just go in there and take some, random vials and hope they mix up into something that doesn't melt her or turn her into some unholy monster.
Well, that's an interesting one.
Yeah, it seems like the only person who would notice the theft would be Alistair or whatever his name is.
All right.
Mortimer.
Nicodemus.
Yeah, Mortimer.
Nicodemus. Yes, some version of Mortimer would figure it out.
All right, so let's let fate decide. You're trying to improve the workings of the house, meaning the people are not dead.
And yes, that's improving maybe improving the function. Although
we hope so.
He said that the function would be much better if everyone in the house was dead. But
irony is not lost on me. All right, roll plus fortitude. Let's serve the house. Yeah, plus fortitude. Serve the house. Roll. Let's see how we do. No whammies. No whammies.
Whammies.
Oh no!
Oh my god! Unless you have 3 prestige, you're willing to burn.
I do not even have 3 prestige. I have 2 at the moment, and I'm sure this isn't going to help it.
This is like some I'm thinking of a show. I can't quite put my finger on it. Where it's like, oh my god, she's dying, she's choking. Okay, give her the stuff from the liquor cabinet that changes things. Okay, that's not helping at all. Okay, let's just get stuff
upstairs.
Yeah. Upstairs. Let's get the glowing stuff from the attic. Okay, there's still a little bit left. I'm just gonna put it on her and yeah, so you pour, like, there's a little bit of the liquid left that had been used in the last thing, that other episode, and you pour it down her throat, and she has she's now ratcheted up to the most fear that a human face can possibly hold in itself, without literally exploding into smithereens. And you pour the stuff down her throat, and she's like,
oh no.
and she is. You're not a doctor. However, it would seem that she is no longer taking breath. That little pulse point that you've noticed is just not happening. And yeah, so that's when the twins walk in. like Scarlet, we're here for you to read to us. And they see, like, she's on the floor on her back. You're over her with this vial that you just put down, and they're just looking at you, and they're like, "What's afoot here?"
The cook, he poisoned her. And I will break out into tears and sobbing.
Oh god! Oh, your move again. What does that move do?
Avoid the trauma and loss of prestige is coming here.
Oh my god! Holy crap!
That's horrible. He gave her a cake, and I just delivered the cake. And
do you have to roll for that at all, or is it just a standard? Yeah. I should probably look at it. All right, let's take a look. That's a maid thing too, right?
Maid roll.
All right, let's take. May move. Let's see.
Helpless victim.
Helpless victim. Yes. Let's take a closer look.
Well, because
so
I assume I'm going to get a loss of prestige here, at least.
Odds are fair to Midland. So let's see here. Start crime and roll plus persuasion. Let's see how this roll goes. 7. All right. Partial Oh wait. Oh yeah. Yeah. Partial success is negated. And oh wow, I don't even know what to do here. All right, yeah, so it's okay. So yeah, the 7.
I've shifted the blame off myself. It sounds like,
or something. Yeah. So let's see here. Oh wow, that is so.
Don't hold it against you.
That is so interesting. Was that current?
It's negated, so maybe they just don't hold it against
you. Yeah.
I hold it against me.
Yeah, they're like, you see, so you're doing your display, and Alexandrina, you see her like they're both listening to you very seriously. Then Alexandrina's just like she starts crying along with you. What are we to do, Reynolds? What are we to do?
We just had one funeral, but now to have another.
Shall we hide her?
Yes. That seems like fine guidance from a house member.
All right, so Alexander's like,
I know the dumb waiter.
Oh God. A second. Hold on. No. Okay, I can't do this. This is wrong. Okay, I need a moment.
Oh no!
Oh, this just got to Bedlam Hall. Whew. All right. Okay, so Alexander's gonna like pull down the drapes, and they're gonna help you wrap her in there like gently. Ever so gently. And that look of terror is frozen on her face, along with like spittle and vomit and this black ichor.
Every time we try and cover her up, like we'll jostle her a little bit, and that flap on her face will come off. And I'll just be like,
oh my God. So yeah. All right. So yes, next thing you know, you're carrying another body through. Maybe it's your first, but you're carrying a body. Over to the kitchen. I think Ruby carried the other body. But yeah, so this one gets carried over to the dumbwaiter with the kids, like each taking a side. Like you're in the middle, and they're like, like they have to put their hands over their heads to, support their end. And yeah, it's like you put her in the dumbwaiter, the door opens, put it in, and just squish her. And it's like she's not fitting right, so you're doing the, the leg goes up here. Oh God, the arm keeps flapping.
I believe some of that's off screen. Just you hear things rattling and
absolutely
moving inappropriately.
Exactly. And next thing you know, the door is closed. I can totally imagine that Hitchcockian scene where the audience is only seeing like the shadow of what's going on, and it's like not quite sure what's going on, but it does not look pleasant. And next thing you know, the thing's closed, and they're kind of, the kids are like, you should do the rope. Yeah.
Please let us never speak of this again.
We should figure out a story. My parents and my grandfather couldn't handle the shock.
She committed herself back to the sanitarium, of course.
Oh.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah, so they're like they're still a little freaked out of themselves, and they're like, "Sanitarium, yes, that sounds reasonable." And they like as soon as they're there, they're just gone. They're going over to wherever they go to, and that's about when like you hear the front door open of the manor. Yeah, it's totally the dumbwaiter is now empty of anything. No no sign no sign of anything. And yeah, so that's about when the door opens and there's Denker and Current coming in.
I'm,
What do y'all do?
I'm gonna turn in now. Good that you're back.
You're going to turn in now.
Long night,
I'll
long
very
day.
pointedly look at my bare wrist.
Working for 3.
Sorry, what?
Isn't it almost dinner time?
Sure. Where does the time go? Well, my coworkers are off dallying in town.
Very well, this will be reflected in your service record.
It's just as Reynolds. Yeah, it's just as Reynolds is trying to turn away. Like, okay, let's just forget about it. It was a dream. It was a dream. And that's when the knocker knocks again.
Oh, who could it be at this hour? Company for dinner? I'll go to open the door.
You should join us.
It doesn't.
You open the door.
I said I'll go to open the door. Do you stop me?
I will take my blunderbuss.
Oh my god.
It's like I don't think it's your place to be opening the door today. But if perhaps you would just stand over there and hold this axe.
It's axe. Oh my god.
Okay.
Perhaps you should allow me to open the door, as I suggested earlier.
If you open the door with one hand, you won't have that hand available to hold the blunderbuss.
That is a very good point.
So yeah, I'm going to ask Mr. Reynolds to stand up to his spot holding the battle axe.
And I'm holding the axe and like the head's down. It's like certainly not ready to be used. You know, it's just like holding like upside down.
They didn't teach you that in housekeeper school.
Nope.
And Mr. Current, if you can lend us a hand and open the door, I'll shoot Eddie and Jimmy.
Well, at least give them a moment, but you'll know the right time if you need.
Can I use my "Can you lend us a hand" move?
Oh my! What the fuck is going to happen? I don't even understand. Oh shit! Oh god! Okay, so we've established that. All right. So which comes first? The lend the hand or the serving the house? This is definitely everybody's serving the house here. It's impressive.
I'm not. I'm just standing there.
You can modify serving that.
So let's see which comes first.
I think lend the hand to get the agreement and then serve the house.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good. All right, let's do that.
Okay.
At the moment, I'm just a non-innocent bystander.
All right, that's a 9.
All right, I get to choose one. Yeah, let's do. So if I select that the work gets done in half the timer, does that mean that I can shoot them both with one shot?
I suppose it does. I suppose it does.
If you succeed at the next roll, yes.
Oh god.
Yes. Okay. Cool. All right. I'm not very good with this part. Maybe I should roll with something extra as my thing.
Anything you like. You pick. What are you picking though?
No, I'm. No, let's do roll with something extra. That sounds good. I'll do that.
All right.
I'll roll with something extra.
We'll open the door, and who do we see there?
You see Jimmy and Eddie as before.
Nice. So I was unsuccessful.
Okay. So yeah, Jimmy and Eddie are standing there, and like, hey, it's the same stiff from before. And they're focusing on Current as he opens the door, and then they look over the side. They see this little lady with a blunderbuss as tall as herself, and it as she kind of brings it down, they kind of see what's happening here. There's the firing mechanism goes forward as she actually pulls the trigger, and somebody didn't load the blunderbuss correctly. So they actually saw the falling of the hammer, which would have been their freaking utter doom, and it's like nothing happens, and then Current is just standing there.
I'll look straight at them. It's like, you claim to be serious, but you now know that we are serious. Does this need to end in bloodshed, or will you walk away with your clothing and everything it contains intact, and perhaps find your way to London, where persons such as you will be finding yourself in much more lucrative employ?
All right, so you're definitely guiding the direction. They're non-staff persons. So go ahead and roll plus persuasion. Let's see if all this comes together. After all,
that's +2.
Oh, that's supposed to. Oh, sorry, I keep forgetting.
And
I
you
have to
roll
roll for
with
you.
something extra still, right? You still roll with something extra.
Oh, right, I do.
All right, let's see how we do. So
Something
36 plus 2. 6, 8. All right,
Nice.
so 7 9. They consider your suggestion, but will follow it under. Okay, so they're like they can kind of see you see. Is it Jimmy is the little one? I forget my own NPCs. Yeah, the shorter one is he kind of is the most taken aback by the fact this blunderbuss almost blew their whole faces off, basically. And the fact that the young little thing is still standing there with it pointed at him, like it could technically go off any second. So yeah, they're like, okay, so we'll go. We don't need to be we don't need to lose our heads here, but we gotta bring something to the boss to at least settle some part of the debt, okay? Can you give me something worthwhile, something with value, and we're out of here. You won't see us again.
Something worth value to give your boss, huh? Well, I'm feeling particularly surly, so I mean, are these guys at least are they really slovenly dressed, or at least decently dressed?
One
One of them have a visible pocket watch chain or something.
I'll say yeah. I mean, they're all about the low class dress. You know, they probably haven't washed in a day or two, that kind of thing. Crooked collars. But yeah, one guy does have I'll say a pocket watch chain. Got to keep time somehow.
All right. I'm just going to lunge forward, grab the chain, pull it out, and it's like, this looks valuable. Why don't you give this to your boss when you go back?
Oh, damn.
And I'll just kind of carefully, holding it and reaching out and gently lay it into his hand. It's like, will that be all?
And again, the two are just fixated on Danker with the huge ass gun, and Jimmy's like, that'll do. That'll do. Our business is concluded.
All right.
And he actually reaches out to the door to try to close the door himself.
I say this with the greatest of gratitude and my compliments and fondness. I do dearly hope to never see you again. And quite frankly, you should hope never to see me again.
Yeah. Door closes firmly with a nice click as the latch kind of sets in place. And yeah.
And
good job.
now, wait here. Now it's time for a bit of fun. I'm going to pick up the freaking claymore nearby, open the door, raise it over my head, and just start running at them screaming.
Yeah, they are making all speed in the opposite direction. In fact, they did come with the car and get in it, and they're pretty much they're like skidding away by the time you get up to them.
I'm not able to get to the car before they leave.
Yeah, unfortunately not.
Damn it, it would have been nice for them to leave it behind.
Oh shit. Oh yes, yeah. So they're gone, and they're like, I'm here to tell you, as the game master, you will never see these two ever again. They have figured out the fact that this is a bad place to do business at, and yeah, the Claymore helps. Thank you for not yelling freedom. I appreciate
that. As Current comes in, I want to say, well, that was brilliant, Mr. Reynolds. I have to say, when this house ends up killing us, I think you'll probably be the first to go, given your performance.
Yeah. Well,
I'd like to drop innuendo. We're all going to die as a secret against Mr. Reynolds.
Oh my. All right, and let me bring that
If
up.
that's okay,
yeah.
Of course.
Oh yeah, that sounds.
No, I didn't technically do anything in the scene.
Except, well,
exactly,
yeah,
which I'm trying to make fun of you for.
Got it.
Gotcha.
I'm trying to say you were not useful at all.
Right. Oh yeah, dark foreboding. Yeah. So when you failed to ignore the strange. Oh, but you didn't fail to ignore the strange though, did you?
I failed to ignore the strange earlier in the scene.
Oh, which part was it? Oh, with the book. That was a different scene though.
Yeah.
Oh, but I suppose I see what you're getting at. The fact that that's the strange to which you're referring. So yeah, okay, yeah, go ahead, go for it. So yeah, drop some innuendo. See how you do.
The way my rolls have been going, this is not going to. Okay. What I get?
Ooh, is that an actual 10?
A 10.
All right.
Oh, fantastic.
Excellent. Now,
so I get to choose two?
Well, so is it true? Is it like it's not a true thing, is it? Or is it true? Trying to figure out that move.
It says when you hint or reference a confirmed secret in gaining a or some roll plus secret. So this counts, I guess, as a confirmed secret according to Dark Foreboding, and so I got a full success.
Oh, interesting.
That's how I read it, but you're the GM, so obviously you.
No, I get what you're saying.
We're all going to die. It's an appropriate, item for this house.
Right. So let's see. Roll plus secret. Have I been missing that? What is the plus secret part?
The number.
I've read it.
How many secrets you have against the other person.
Yep.
Oh, gotcha. All right.
And you're allowed to use the Dark Foreboding as the secret.
Oh, I know. I'm getting it now. I'm a little slow. I'm picking it up.
The Maid seems to have some good combo type options, that lead to each other.
Cool. But I suppose the question is it true or is it or is it like just an innuendo where you would go -1 to that?
Well, because it's a secret, I think that's what the dark foreboding
Oh. No, I totally
does.
okay. Yeah,
Counts
yeah.
as a secret.
You've made it into a secret. I see. Perfect. Yeah, so that's perfect. Yeah, so you get a 10. So let's see here. So choose 2.
I think I'd like to gain a prestige for the way that I carried myself. A point of mental trauma, given that Scarlet has just died and witnessed how it's quite like everyone is going to die.
See, I have a better one. So yeah, so you gain your prestige,
Okay.
and
Okay.
and we'll close up as basically if they say the camera's like looking at from Reynolds' point of view and towards her. And as like the vignette closes, she makes her statement and shakes her head, ha ha, I won type of thing, and like clicks the thing. What is it? What's the word I'm looking for the blunderbuss's stock to the ground, and that's when it goes off. And we'll figure out what exactly happens, but it does cause 1 trauma to Reynolds.
Oh no.
So again, I can technically not
start crying. All right, let's do it. I gotta bring this up. I love how these are like playing off of one another. It's pretty fun actually. Let's see here. So let's go back to that. Yeah, helpless victim. All right. Yeah, you're able to receive trauma or prestige.
So that, startles me. I drop the axe. Maybe blaming it on, this, tense, scene of, possible violence. I just start wailing of, oh, we're all gonna die. This is so horrible. First, and I sort of mumble something incomprehensible, and then there's these 2 violent men at the door, and
all right, roll your persuasion. Let's see how it goes. Oh God, he gets oh no, it's okay. So with a full success, it's redirected to another member of staff who gets it.
I think I'm going to send the trauma right back to Miss Decker.
Oh God, she took 2 trauma in her first episode. So yeah, it's like going to be like the blunderbuss goes off, things come out of the front of it. Being a blunderbuss, it's all like pellets and stuff. Basically a shotgun for all intents and purposes. And things ding 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 ding, and next thing you know, yeah, she'll probably take it right on the same place where she was burned at. Like a pellet hits her. It's like,
she may have noticed it, there was going to be something falling on her if I hadn't been screaming and wailing.
Oh my God.
If I wasn't already at 3 trauma, I would take it, but I'm already at 3 trauma.
I didn't realize you were at 3 trauma. Oh man.
Oh, so Steve, you're saying
you lose a prestige if I'd known.
No, so instead of taking the trauma, which is what I was going to happen, that gets reflected back onto Miss Decker.
Yeah, were you saying the method? I actually think what I thought I heard you say what I think is even more cool is, yeah, like the things ricochet or the thing, or she shoots upwards, and the chandelier falls and barely misses her.
Yeah, I figured something would fall, but the fact that I was distracting her, kept her from actually taking the brunt of it.
Right. Yeah. So she'll take a little bit of a jostling from the falling chandelier, and as like the pieces go to the ground and the 3 servants look around and realize they can't turn in until this is cleaned up. Perhaps the largest tragedy of this entire episode. There we go.
Point.
And we fade to black. Roll credits on this session.
As we fade to black, I point at the chandelier and go, I am not fixing that, and then leave.
All right, good episode. Whew. So there's Stephanie Danker's introduction episode. She was totally prepared to murder on episode 1. Just putting that out there. Didn't take that much trauma either. So she's down with the first degree. So yeah.
Only ever for the house.
Uh-huh.
Only ever for the house.
You do what you gotta do. Awesome. Cool. And we almost went to time tonight, so good job. So yeah, again, Philip, I just want to say thank you again for kind of pointing out like how we weren't doing as many of those roles as we should have. And again, I like the fact that a lot of the maid roles are kind of feeding into each other and that kind of thing. That's pretty cool, especially now because Reynolds has one. It's so fun.
I think I'm gonna have to grab that one as well.
Oh my god, a cry
Very
battle.
useful.
Sob off.
A sob off. Oh god. Yes. Hashtag sob off.
We just both end up just bawling, and Current is there trying to keep everything together, and we're just
Chandelier crashes, and I just kind of like give a flat stare at it. At that point, I'm like, I am not fixing that.
Funny. All right. So again, fun episode. I'm glad to introduce the Philip's new character, Stephanie Dinker, the maid. It's gonna be a lot of fun. We had some trauma tonight, all kinds of stuff I didn't expect to happen. So here we are, which is the way I like it on Bedlam Hall. So awesome, good job. So let's quick say goodbye to our players. Philip,
have a great night. See you in a couple weeks, probably. Right?
Yep.
Or do we have one more?
We'll see you next week, and then we're off too because you're not available. And then we'll come back and do the last two.
Yeah, this is 7, so there's 8, 9, 10.
Yep. So awesome. So yeah, cool. And welcome aboard, Miss Danker. Excellent. All right, Jason, who's the trooper, losing Wi-Fi internet completely, and is now on his phone, trooping along. Impressive. Thank you, sir.
I don't know Wi-Fi. Oh well.
Damn it. Well, may you get internet access soon. You got this.
Yep. I got this.
Until then, hold on. All right, cool. Steve.
You can't net.
What's that?
You can't net this.
On that note, Steve.
Yes, anybody watching? I am old.
Oh my.
Yep.
Steve is just happy to be here.
And, see you next week. Good
Excellent. Excellent. Yeah, good. I just want to say for the record that you basically, even in death, she couldn't be more horrified than being sent back down there. That was her worst nightmare, and that's where her body went. Oh god, that's the most horrible thing ever.
Most appropriate place to put it.
I'd like to point out that all 3 players have now sent somebody down the dumbwaiter to dispose of a body.
Oh my god. Okay. And on that note, I am Scott's Case Files, and if you're watching, think of subscribing or following, etc. If you can take the trauma. I'm not sure if I can. I'm going to troop it on though. So yeah, all my about stuff is in the about, all my social media is in the about down there. If you're watching this on YouTube, all that's in the description. And thank you for making it through this horrifying experience, which is Bedlam Hall, with us. And again, my players are awesome. And again, I hope those who watch this are seeing that it's how cool it is to see them play off each other and then improv their own stuff. So that's a rare skill. So I am impressed as always, and I will continue to gush over my players because they're awesome. But I loved it all. So you guys made some great choices, and we'll see what the other episodes have. And then anyway, go forth do no harm. Be good to each other. Don't be anything like the characters in Bedlam Hall, the Malbanes. And we'll see you when we see you, hopefully next week. Bye for now.
Don't be like the Malbanes. No, don't be like the hell.